every cell of my body. My body is healed with God's energy. I, the being, am an embodiment of peace. Peace, the original nature of the soul. I am full of peace. I, the being, radiate God's love to everyone around me. Gently remind yourself, I am a peaceful soul. I, the divine being, full of God's love, purity, and peace. Vibrations of peace radiate from me out into this universe. I, the soul, detach myself from this world and my body. Look at yourself, that tiny point of light, traveling upwards. I, the soul, am rising above this planet. I am going home. Crossing the sun, the moon, and the stars. I, the soul, have reached home. It's a region of divine light, a land of complete stillness and peace. It's just peace and peace all around me. The soul world, my home. I see before me a very bright, shining point of light. My Father, God, the Supreme Power, just like me, another soul, very powerful, ocean of divinity and unconditional love. I, the soul, am sitting with God. God, the energy with whom I can experience all my relationships. My friend, my companion. God's unconditional love and powers are flowing towards me. I, the soul, am getting filled with God's love. God, the Supreme Power, is the ocean of peace. Peace, that one feeling the whole world is looking for. The ocean of peace is my Father. God's peace radiates from me to the entire world. It's reaching every soul who is looking for peace. I am a radiator of God's peace. It's just peace and peace all around me. The soul world, my home.
Om Shanti. Okay. So, the whole journey of Raj Yoga meditation, as I already explained, it's not a question of sitting for meditation or just spending few minutes and few hours to reflect on something. It's not about that. It is a journey, a lifetime journey, where we can bring transformation in ourselves. And Raj Yoga, only through Raj Yoga, we souls can transform ourselves. And so we understood who we are. We are not these bodies which are made up of 5 elements. But I, the soul, am the master or the creator of my own thoughts. I am the master of my organs, my physical organs. I, the soul, has 3 departments, which is mind, intellect, and sanskars, personality traits. And I have come from that, the world of peace, the world of complete stillness and silence. That is the land of liberation. That is my home. And then we also understood the father of our souls, Supreme Father, God, Baba. And he is also, like us, an energy, a point of light or light. And he also resides in that world of light, soul world, where there is complete peace. And he is ocean of peace, ocean of happiness. And then we understood that my connection with him, my relationship with him, that as he does not have physical boundaries, he can be a father, mother, friend, companion, child, any or a teacher or a guide. We can have all relationships with him. And while connecting with him, we can communicate with him, and we get recharged. Recharging means we develop all the qualities and all the powers that we have been looking for. And then we understood the cycle of time, where God himself reminds us that once upon a time, it is our own story. Okay, it's our own story of 84 births. So once upon a time, we were in the golden age, like paradise or heaven, means in a complete world, perfect world, where there was peace, purity, prosperity, completely full. And we ourselves, all souls were divine. And so there was no need to remember God. There was no unhappiness, no peacelessness. And slowly the batteries started to discharge. And today we are in the iron age where all the batteries have discharged. I like to share one small story type. When you are driving a car and in between you find that the battery in the car is discharged, and you are somewhere very far. So in order to reach to your destination, what you will do, how you will reach to a main power station. So what you have to do, you have to stop all the cars or any vehicle coming or passing by you, and you have to connect to their vehicle's battery and recharge your car's battery. But it will not last for so long. So you have to keep on doing that work. Means you have to connect your car's battery to so many batteries until you arrive at the power station, at the main station. Now, once you are at the main station, then you don't need to connect to any other batteries. Then you have to directly connect to the power station. So this we need to understand that from the Copper Age, all different religious messengers, prophets, great souls, they came to recharge us. To recharge us means to give us a beautiful messages, but that was just so that we arrive now at this time where we are now. So these were the stepping stones. And now once we have come to the confluence age, diamond age, where powerhouse means the Father, God himself is there to recharge us, then there is no need to connect to other batteries. Batteries don't recharge other batteries. All the batteries anyway at the end have to connect to the main station. And so we understood that it is that time now. The time is now when we can actually connect to that powerhouse, as it is only at the diamond age now that God himself intervenes in the drama. And so he has his role now, and we understood what is his job, what is his profession. Generator, operator, and destroyer. And so he has to perform his duty now at the confluence age. So today we will see how he comes. But that is for sure that he has come. And only he has given this knowledge of who we are. No one knows who we are, and no one knows who he is and how he is. And no one knows what he does. For example, even if you are my best friend and you introduce me, that's okay. It's not false introduction. But when I give my introduction, that is accurate introduction. So till now, whatever opinions we have been giving about God, not 100% false. But now, when God himself comes and gives his own introduction, that is accurate introduction. And he does not only give his introduction, he introduces us to ourselves also. That recognize yourself first. And so, God has to come. That is first thing. Second, what he has to do? he has to destroy the darkness, which means Iron Age, and he has to establish a light, means day. And so he has to come at the very end of the darkness to dispel the darkness. And so that is the time right now. We are at the very end of the Iron Age. Iron Age, it is where all the souls are sleeping in the ignorance, sleep of ignorance. We are in complete darkness. There is no knowledge of obscurity. And so he dispels that, and he establishes a divine world, divine stage, or a new stage for us to play on. And so that is his role. And another thing, what is his role? To purify our souls. We have been calling out, oh God, oh purifier, come and purify our souls. And we have done so many things to purify the soul. We went to the Ganges and we went to the pilgrimages. We did everything, fasting and whatnot, everything to purify the soul. And so that is only now that we can purify ourselves, because he is the only purifier. And another thing, as he has to come to destroy the old world and to establish the new world. And for that, he has to teach us Raj Yoga, means the highest connection. And through this connection, everything is possible. And so, in order to teach us Raj Yoga, for example, we souls, when we came first on this stage, the first work we did is to take this body, because without taking this body, we cannot do anything in this physical dimension. So we took this body, this chariot, to play our roles. Okay, so every soul has to take a body. See, a body cannot do anything without soul, and soul cannot do anything without a body. So this is the beautiful combination. Okay, but I am a soul and I have to take this costume, this chariot or this body to play my role. Now God, he is also a soul, energy, metaphysical energy, and he's not physical. Okay, so when he has to come to this world for a very short period of time, the director comes just to wave, and then there is the end, and all the actors have to return. That's it. Very less time is remaining. It is at that time that the director of this drama intervenes. But the question is, when he comes, he's also a soul. So he needs a body. He has to take a body, means a costume, in order to communicate with us, in order to give us knowledge, because he is ocean of knowledge. So how else he is going to give us the knowledge unless he takes a body? You might say that he is almighty authority and the most powerful being. While sitting up, he can inspire us and purify us, and he can transform the world. Yes, he can. He can do that. Just like this. He can transform the world because he is that powerful. But imagine that God, the most powerful one, sitting up and inspiring you, sending you some inspiration. He is powerful, he can send. But am I powerful to catch his inspiration? Am I powerful to follow his directions through inspirations? our batteries are not that charged. So he can inspire us, but we are not powerful. We have become a stone intellect in the Iron Age. So he has to come. Now, because when he comes, he has to take a body. Now the question is, whose body he takes? That is also not a mystery. Simply, he takes the body of someone who is the most experienced soul in the drama. Definitely, he does not enter a womb. He does not become a child and he does not have a parent. So he takes a body on loan. Means he just takes one body. He who enters a body. And so whose body? As I said, the most experienced soul. So the most experienced soul is in the world. There is only one soul who comes first on this stage. You can call him Adam, Adi Dev. We call him Brahma, Krishna, or Narayan, etc. So that soul is the first soul who comes on this stage in the golden age. Now, for example, I am Dharti, but I am Dharti only when I am in this body. When I leave this body, when the soul leave this body and takes another, my name, my form, my nationality, everything will change. Soul remains the same, but my name and all will change. And so imagine the first soul, the most pure, the purest soul, the first number soul who comes on this stage, and he finishes his 8 births in the golden age, 12 in the silver age, 21 births in the copper age, and 42 births in the iron age. And so he is no more divine. His battery is also discharged. An ordinary man, like iron aged human being like us. But the soul is number one soul, the most experienced soul. And so when this soul is in his last costume, 84th costume body, it is in that body that God enters. And when he enters, he gives him the name Brahma. I explain you what Brahma is. Brahma, through Brahma, we say the generator. God is generator. So Brahma, we say that the one who establishes or who creates the new world. But it is not Brahma who creates, but through him, by using his body, it is God who establishes or who creates the new world. So it's just like, you take something on loan. It's not favoring. But God takes the body of Brahma, uses his mouth in order to give us knowledge, to teach us Raj Yoga, and that's it. When there is a new world, those who listen to the knowledge from God, they become mouth-born creation. Like we all are mouth-born creation, and we are not a physical creation. We are not physically born. We are mouth-born creation, means transformation I talked about. So one is a child takes birth through a womb. That is physical creation. But the second is in our lifetime, when there is a big transformation in our life, then we say, this is my new birth. Or before we had some bad habit and then it changes. So again we say that, you know, this is my new life. So that is called spiritual birth. Okay, you don't have to change your body, but you brought a big transformation in your thinking pattern, right? Spiritually born. And so the mouth born creation of Brahma, means pure souls, mouth born creation, children of God, angels, you can say, in religious language, angels. Those who become helpers, first of all, they listen to the knowledge, they understand it, they imbibe it, and then they become worthy to receive the reward of the effort that they make now at the conference stage. Okay, I hope it is clear. And so, yeah, God has come and teaching us through the mouth of Brahma all this knowledge that we have heard. Now, what teachings? That is the last lesson remaining, what we will do after 7 days course. What do we do? And what God teaches us, that will be the last lesson. But what is the qualification? What is the qualification of being a child of God? A direct mouth-born creation of God. And so there are four pillars. We can say pillars, yes, pillars, foundations or pillars of this life. This life. This life means once we have understood ourselves, once we have understood who is our Father and what He is teaching us and what He is going to do. And so when we understand the cycle of time, when we understand our role, His role, and so what we need to do in order to transform ourselves. So for that there are four, you can say, discipline or a pillar. Now, these four pillars are kind of disciplines that when we imbibe them or when we practice them, there is transformation, in our life. And so these disciplines, I need to explain you first. It is like a prescription. For example, or a precaution, sorry. When you have a fever, you go to a doctor and doctor gives you a medicine. And together with the medicine, doctor tells you, some precautions. If you take this with milk or with water at this time or after food or before food, etc., etc. So these precautions are up to you. If you want to, recover fast, you need to follow these prescriptions. If you don't want to follow, that is also up to you. But medicine is there. Medicine is there, through that you can recover slowly. But if you want faster recovery, you have to follow what doctor says. So first thing is, why we thought of doing meditation, taking meditation course? Because somehow we know that the soul is sick. Soul is sick means impure or full of all vices. There is pain, suffering, etc. So we all thought of, consulting a doctor. Now, when we come to Baba, when we understand this knowledge, the medicine that God gives us, that is the connection, or you can call it a meditation. Connection or remembering Him. That is the ultimate medicine. But if you want the faster recovery, then these four pillars will help you. Okay. Second thing, if you put a paper under the sun, it will not burn. Even for months and months, you leave that paper under the sun, it will just become dry and hot, etc. But it will not burn. But as soon as you pass a magnified glass, immediately it will start burning. Okay, and so these discipline also works something like this. Okay, if I don't want to follow these four pillars for these four disciplines, still the meditation means this I the soul and the paper, and God is a sun. So I can be under the sun, I can feel good. You see, the paper can become dry and hot, but not burn. So I will feel good, I will be relaxed, I will be positive. But the transformation, change that I want to see in myself will not take place until I do something. Instead of just sitting and remembering him, I will feel good, happy, relaxed, but there won't be any change in ourselves. Okay, so these four pillars work like magnify glass. Okay, and so first pillar or the first discipline as a child of God, mouth-born creation of God, is purity. You can note it down. Purity. Now, purity here means I am what I think. So there are two types of purity and both are important. Physical purity, the purity of the body, and mental purity, the purity in our thoughts. Okay, but the thing is, when there is purity in our thoughts, physical purity is very easy and simple. Okay, so the first pillar is purity. You know, purity has so many definitions. Purity means celibacy. That is also one of the type of purity. Keeping the body pure means not indulging in lust. Okay. Second, cleanliness. Keeping the body clean. That is also purity. Okay, and mental purity also means, you know, keeping your eyes civilized, not criminalized. So what I see, there can be purity. What I listen, what words do I speak, you know, everything, that physical and mental purity. So we observe this discipline as a discipline, that we take care of our thoughts, our eyes, or you know, our organs, and there is also physical cleanliness or purity. And that is why there is a saying, where there is cleanliness, there is godliness. So which cleanliness? It's not that you keep your room and your house and your area clean. No, you need to clean your mind and your body, your organs, right? So that is the first discipline. Clear? Right? Second, very important, second discipline is having a pure food, pure diet, not only healthy diet, but pure sattvic diet. So the second pillar is I am what I eat. Okay, and the third pillar, I am what I eat. As the food, so the mind, and as the mind, so the food. We will also go into detail of it. The third pillar is inculcation of divine virtues. As a godly children, godly student, you see, even in a school, we see the behavior. the activities, the actions of the student. So in the same way, God teaching me, I am his student, or God is my father, I am his child, I must have the third pillar, means the third discipline, inculcation of divine virtues. So we also take care of it. What? There are so many virtues, so many qualities, humility, sweetness, love, happiness, tolerance, etc. Yeah, these are the virtues. Okay, so that is the third discipline. We take care of that and we'll go in detail of it. I think you have 30 seconds left. Sorry, I forgot to inform you. You have 30 seconds left and you will disconnect. You can reconnect. Okay, in 30 seconds. So let's have a pause.